With a dire warning, she was carried away by a macrophage, who also alerted Ryan and Jim to the impending danger. Captain Lisa and her courageous white blood cells engaged in a fierce battle with lice, but their relentless foe, the Ebola army, seemed unstoppable. Lisa's sword shattered against the enemy's armor, and despair crept over the battlefield as the common cold claimed more than half of her troops. Amidst the chaos, the flu's leader made a reckless advance toward Lisa, his intentions far from innocent. She responded with a swift and deadly strike, ending the threat. As Ryan and Jim finally reached the battlefield, they witnessed the crushing defeat of Lexia and her fellow white blood cells. With her last breath, Lexia urged Ryan to flee, but he chose to stand and face the menacing pink-eyed enemy. In that critical moment, Ryan tapped into newfound strength, a power reminiscent of Naruto, and a radiant light descended from the heavens, stripping the malaria of their protective armor. Exposed and vulnerable, the measles and other bacteria met their demise, the battle's outcome sealed. Tragically, Captain Lisa and a few other white blood cells paid the ultimate price at the battlefront, their sacrifice honored with a solemn burial at the thymus. In the wake of the intense battle against meningitis, the helper T cell was seething with anger at the loss of lives. He saw the white blood cells as weaklings and resolved to usher in a new era of T cell supremacy. With limited power on his own, he summoned an elite army known as the Killer T cells to enforce his will. These elite soldiers entered the body, their imposing presence reminiscent of WWE wrestlers in matching leotards. As Ryan embarked on an oxygen delivery mission to the hair root, he discovered the intricate process of hair production and maintenance. Meeting the dedicated hair cells, he observed the pigment cell ensuring the hair's lustrous black color. In the city, he encountered Lexia, still recovering from the grueling battle against arthritis. She confided in him, thanking him for his support, and the connection between them deepened. But as the killer T cells, led by the imposing Brock, made their entrance, tensions escalated. Brock's hidden affections for Lexia surfaced, and he couldn't bear seeing her with Ryan. Asserting his dominance, he warned Lexia not to interfere with the T cell's mission and stormed off with his team. Back at the thymus, the helper T cell, driven by his need for control, continued his relentless pursuit to protect the body from infections. Frustrated by the casualties suffered in the battle against meningitis, he intended to prove the importance of T cells to the entire body. Meanwhile, in the bloodstream, Ryan and Jim encountered a challenging delivery as they contended with clogged arteries, a result of cholesterol buildup. Upon reaching the hair root, they found a harrowing scene, a group of killer T cells wreaking havoc, causing hair strands to fall out and leaving a bald spot. The helper T cell, fueled by an energy drink called cytokine, further agitated the killer T cells, sending them into a frenzy. Brock and his team unleashed their Super Saiyan-like power, determined to destroy the hair cells. In a different realm of the body, Ryan's focus was on the body's social life. He rallied the red blood cells to help in delivering oxygen and protect the remaining hair strands. The situation seemed dire until futuristic robots, known as the steroids, arrived with advanced laser technology. The steroids swiftly overpowered the rogue killer T cells and the helper T cell. With the hair root finally safe, the battle against pneumonia came to an end. As Ryan and Jim embarked on their routine delivery, fate seemed poised against them. A slick mishap coated their uniforms in a viscous fluid, prompting an unexpected detour to the kidney bathhouse for a much-needed cleanse. Little did they know, this facility operated under the unyielding authority of Mother Superior, the chief glomeruli cell, enforcing a strict code of silence among her workers. Within this cleansing sanctuary, waste products converged, birthing the lifeblood of the host body, urine. Ryan, observant as ever, couldn't ignore the burdened state of the glomeruli cells, a consequence of the host's neglected health habits. It was no wonder the slimy mishap earlier had occurred. Engaging with Yumi, one of these tireless cells, Ryan uncovered the toll of neglect on the body's cleansing mechanisms. Their return journey took an ominous turn when an ominous sound echoed from the depths of the urinary passageways. A colossal crystal shattered through the vessel's walls, sparking chaos as Ryan and Jim raced to warn others. The breach turned the urine into a crimson tide, drawing attention from outside forces. A laser endoscope retaliated, shattering the crystal but inadvertently paving the way for invasive bacteria to infiltrate the body. In a desperate bid to safeguard the host, white blood cells clashed valiantly against the invasive horde. Despite their resilience, they found themselves outnumbered and overpowered. Amidst the escalating crisis, Ryan's urgent plea to the glomeruli cells fell on deaf ears, except for the courageous Yumi, who dared challenge Mother Superior's obstinance. Tragedy struck as a monstrous bacterium ambushed them, claiming Mother Superior's life while casting Yumi into a reluctant leadership role. In the throes of despair, the tide turned when a solitary figure, Quinn, a bacterium RoboCop detective, emerged as an unexpected savior, swiftly decimating the invaders. With the vacuum left by Mother Superior's demise, Yumi reluctantly stepped into the leadership vacuum, guided by Ryan's counsel to lead with compassion. However, as Jim sought respite after a long day's delivery, an unforeseen crisis arose. An oxygen canister he delivered had inadvertently aged a recipient into a senior citizen, igniting yet another frantic plea for aid. In the wake of this incident, Jim faced backlash from his fellow red blood cells. Yet Ryan, ever the optimist, sought to explain the complexities of oxygen delivery. At the Rookie Awards ceremony, Ryan received recognition for his outstanding work, while Jim grappled with feelings of jealousy. Post-ceremony, Jim was lured into a group of disenchanted red blood cells who offered him an escape from the body's demands. However, he was not in the right frame of mind to accept their offer. As Ryan and Jim embarked on their journey to the sebaceous gland, tension simmered between them. Jim's frustration over Ryan's accomplishments continued to fester. When they reached the hair root, Ryan empathized with the hair cell's struggles, who expressed their frustration about the lack of hair growth since the spot balding incident. As they climbed up the stairs to the sebaceous gland, Ryan suggested carrying some of Jim's boxes, but he insisted that he could handle it himself, as he was fed up with Ryan's happy-go-lucky attitude. Along the way, a canister of oxygen exploded, transforming into impure oxygen that killed off a lot of red blood cells. When they reached the filthy destination, Ryan and Jim met with the sebaceous gland cell, who was only moments away from retiring from his job. He thanked the red blood cells for their continuous hard work while downplaying his own role as an important cell in the body. He revealed that his destiny as a sebaceous gland cell was to eventually rupture, releasing a natural lubricant around the host body to prevent it from drying up. Jim and Ryan were shocked by the huge sacrifice he had to pay for the well-being of the body. Regardless, the sebaceous gland cell accepted his fate and politely asked them to step outside while he prepared for his iSky mission. The sebaceous gland cell exploded, releasing the lubricant just like he said. However, the lubricant reacted with some of the oxygen tanks in the room, transforming them into impure oxygen. The impure oxygen had a pungent smell that triggered the red blood cells and the hair cells. Jim blamed himself for the accident, believing that he was cursed with always delivering impure oxygen. He tried to keep his distance from the others, but the two red blood cells from the ceremony caught up with him, and they invited him to their secret location to get a boost. Jim followed them to the small intestine, where an elixir rained down on him, transforming him into a super delivery machine. Jim became an unstoppable force, tirelessly delivering packages throughout the entire body. Whenever exhaustion loomed, he quickly replenished his energy by showering in the elixir. Ryan tried telling Jim that his heavy reliance on elixir would slowly drain all of his energy, but Jim rushed them off, as the stressful nature of their work demanded this energy boost. However, during a routine delivery, a rupture occurred in the capillary of the nasal cavity, forming a wormhole that began swallowing everything and everyone along its path. Ryan and Jim held on for dear life, but the aftereffects of the elixir made Jim too weak to continue. Feeling defeated and unworthy of living, Jim had already given up and was ready to let go, but Ryan quickly reminded him that everybody deserved a second chance. Jim became determined to keep on living, using every last bit of his energy to propel himself towards Ryan, who immediately pulled him to safety. After having survived through the near-death experience, something new sparked between Ryan and Jim, and they were glad to both be alive together. As the levels of carbon monoxide and PG grape juice increased within the blood vessel, the red blood cells became too exhausted to perform their jobs. A veteran red blood cell urged Ryan and Jim to tag along with him to the liver for a detox. As they approached the liver, an eerie sense of disbelief gripped them. The once vibrant and lively organ had now become a desolate, grim wasteland. A chill ran down their spines as they were greeted by the head hepatocyte, who regretfully confessed her inability to assist in the detox process.